Hi and welcome to Whisky Shared. You're watching my review of Dingle Single Malt Batch 5. I'm Toby and you're watching Whisky Shared. Welcome to my review of Dingle Single Malt Batch 5. This is my first Dingle whisky that I featured on the channel, and this is also the third review from the Irish Whisky Month series for 2023. The Dingle distillery is from the west coast of Ireland and it started distilling back in 2012. This particular whisky is a triple distilled single malt and it's a batch of 30,000 bottles. This particular whisky is non-chill filtered and it's 46.5% ABV, and this whisky is also aged in ex-bourbon, ex-PX and ex-Madeira casks. Should we find out what it tastes like? On to the whisky. So before I start nosing and tasting, let's have a quick look at the colour. I'd say that's like a yellow gold, really does have a nice shade. Let's start with the nose. So the first thing I get on the nose with this is like white wine. Yeah, slightly dry white wine. Getting a hint of lemon, like lemon sherbet. And there's also like fruit salad sweets. And there's also a floral note there as well, which is quite nice. Let's move on to the palate. Yeah, so to start with, this is quite light and floral. It's not too punchy for its ABV. And I'd say there's a hint of red fruits in there as well. There's also a sort of dusting of vanilla, reminds me of icing sugar. Really is quite nice. Let's have another sip. Yeah, so a second sip brings on a few interesting flavours. I get a hint of cloves, which brings a slight spiciness to it. And there is also a slight fizziness, like a fizzy sherbet or even a hint of sort of chili pepper. It's quite nice, quite pleasant. I really quite like that. I think it adds a bit of character to this whisky. Let's have one more sip. Yeah, this whisky has a quite sort of youthfulness to it. Reminds me of a young whisky, and there's some nuttiness in there as well. Really reminds me of sort of hazelnuts and almonds, and there is a hint of charred oak as well. This whisky's quite oily. Really does sort of cling to the palate, and with that, there's also a hint of chocolate. In terms of finish, well, I'd say it's medium in length. There is some vanilla, there is some cloves, there is some charred oak, and there is a hint of sea salt for me. Really is quite nice. In terms of value, well, this retailed for $69.95 in the UK and is no longer available. You might find some specialist retailers still have some bottles, but this particular whisky, as it is a batch release, obviously does sell out within a reasonable amount of time. Obviously the next batch it's already out and potentially even sold out at some retailers, but obviously that will be different from this one. So if you like the sound of this, the next one won't necessarily be the same, but it should still be the same quality. Dingle's a whisky that's been on my radar for some time. It's only recently in the last 12 months I've actually bought some bottles, but I have actually tasted it. I've been to Ireland and been to some of their bars and tasted their whisky there. It's definitely a distillery that has some interesting ideas. I think some of their cask maturations are very good, and they do pair well with the liquid inside. But in terms of value, well, that's $69.95. I think for a independent distillery from Ireland that's triple distilling and obviously releasing at a decent ABV, I think it's not bad. It's probably at the upper limit of where I want to pay, but I probably would buy another batch of this if I got the opportunity. If this sounds up your street, I'll put a link in the description and you can check it out. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Sláinte.
I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, why not give it a like or a comment? And please consider subscribing for more videos like this.